Greetings. This is Arvette McLean of Speak, the Universe Listens. As a very young person, I always felt that I carried the weight of the world on my shoulders, having to make grown up decisions in order to survive a life marked with physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. While my face was smiling on the outside, on the inside, I always secretly cried and felt miserable. However, over the years, I learned some gems that helped to turn my life around. I now get to live the life of my dreams, filled with love, travel, and wonderment. And I am absolutely passionate about sharing what I have learned with you. If you want to live your best life, tune in each week as I, along with some amazing guests, share these life changing gems with you. Inspired to be more, do more, have more. Greetings and welcome to Speak, the Universe Listens. And today's topic is, what is your purpose? And I have joining me Stephen. How are you, Stephen?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Awesome,
As,
awesome, awesome.
yes, as everyone can see, we are both sitting in our cars. We are broadcasting from outdoors today. And so, as you probably know by now, we do record our episodes in advance. And so, we are recording during the COVID-19 pandemic. And hopefully, by the time you actually see this recording, hopefully, we won't be still on social distancing regulations. And you'll be like, why are you guys still on Zoom? But we didn't want to miss any messages to go out to you guys, so we decided to move forward as if this is just how it is. So again, welcome, Stephen, and our topic, what is
Okay.
our purpose? I think it's such a good topic because I know a lot of times we can kind of, I in my time, I've stressed over, well, what is my purpose? Am I on purpose? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And, those types of questions. So this is a great topic. What is your purpose?
What is your purpose? Yes, I thought about it and I was like, I think this would be something good to talk about just to get people minds going.
Mhm.
And so what is your purpose? Basically, to inspire, to inspire before you expire, right? That's basically what your purpose is. So with all of us, everybody has something that they're aspiring to do, basically. So pretty much with myself, I would like to aspire to be somebody that's great, somebody that's a good role model. For somebody else out here, they have a dream, they have a goal that they're really aspiring to accomplish for themselves, right? So when they think about, what is their purpose, what is that desire that you have inside of you, that fire that just lights you up, and that thing that just really uh puts that flame underneath you to get you going and just getting you fire up. And whatever that is, that's your purpose. So you have to take that and you have to make something out of it, right? So when you do, then you're expiring. You stepped into your purpose. Okay, you stepped into your purpose a little bit. And I can remember for me, for myself, when I stepped into my purpose a little bit, as far as doing what I'm doing, just talking to people, doing words of wisdom. I always had it in the back of my mind to really talk to people and just try to inspire people to do great things in their life. And I remember at first I was scared. I really was. I always had it in the back of my mind to do it, but I never really put that fire behind me to just actually go forward with it. And when I actually did, it felt good. I was nervous. Don't get me wrong. I was very nervous, but when I did do it, it really made me realize, like, okay, I'm stepping into my own purpose. And everybody's purpose is a little bit different. I can tell you that now. I can tell you a person, plenty of people inspire me to do what I do. I could name an athlete, my favorite, Michael Jordan. One thing about him that I admire the most is his fire behind. Even when he lost, he still went hard regardless. He inspired his teammates. I mean, he pretty much it was just his drive that I took away from him just as a player and just as an individual that I really admired about him. So I think that everybody has something to take away from somebody. And for me personally, like I said before, I was scared to do words of wisdom at first, but when I realized, like, hey, okay, when I started getting the ball going a little bit, I said, you know what, this is what it is. This is my purpose.
Well, I know for me, oftentimes I would hear people say to do what lights you up, what inspires you, what gives you fire and drive. And I'm just like, I don't really know what that is. And so for a lot of my life, I'm like, I don't have any idea of what my purpose is because I'm just not all that excited about anything. And so that's
Uh,
one. And then the other thing is, um, so when I really kept pressing, like, what am I excited about? And then I'm like, you know what, I love exercising. And so then I'm like, how do you make a purpose out of that?
right, right,
Like,
right.
um, so I think the struggle for a lot of people when they're talking about purpose is knowing what your purpose is. Like, how do you even get to that point when you know what your purpose is?
Mm. Well, getting to that point, like you just said, sometimes a lot of people don't really know what it is that what is their purpose. Basically, they have no idea, and 9 times out of 10, it's normally like right there in front of their face, but they just don't really realize it. And so, I would say, if anything, whatever that that thing that you have love for the most, that's what you go after. That's that fire right there, because we all have plenty of things that we expire that we like, but it's that one thing that you can honestly say that, hey, this right here, I can see me taking this to the next level, or I can see me in this position. And so, like I said before, hey, it's that thing, that fire behind you, whatever that thing is, boom, it's part of your purpose. And like, your purpose may change. Don't get me wrong. I mean, a lot of us have dreams and goals that we want in our life, right? But of course, as you know, we pretty much we control everything in our life. We control our 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 vision, our goals, the changes that we go through. So whatever your goal is, hey, tomorrow your goal may change. You might want to sit back and do something different, you know. But regardless, even if that is the case, you still got to that fire behind it. If that's something that lights you up, go for it, because you hate to sit back and not go for it, and then later on in your life you regret not doing what it was that really uh put some fire behind you, basically.
Yeah. Yes, and I think a lot of times I'm not gonna say confused. It's not the word that I'm trying to say.
Uh,
Um, that we use the same word to mean different things. So a lot of times when people say, "What's your purpose?" they are talking about what's your dream, you know.
uh,
And a lot of people think that whatever is your dream, that is your purpose. However, like I know it seemed like I've shared this story when you've been on the show a couple of times. So I don't know why this story keeps coming up. But when I was going to Ohio State, I
uh,
was probably like, what, 22 years old, I guess.
okay.
And that's when I had went through this whole phase of trying to figure out, would I be okay if I wasn't certain things, if I wasn't smart, if I wasn't nice, and if I wasn't cute? Could I still be okay? And
Right.
so it's kind of like you put a question out there and you put your attention on the question, and then you'll eventually get an answer. And so as I continued every day asking myself, could I still be okay if I wasn't smart? Could I still be okay if I wasn't kind? Could I be okay if some terrible thing happened and I was disfigured. Could I be okay? And for a while, the answer kept coming back, no. And eventually, the answer came back, yes. And the reason why the shift that took place in me that allowed the answer to come back, yes, is because I realized that no matter how I show up in this physical form, my life is purposeful. I'm here to serve a purpose and it's on purpose. And even if it doesn't look like it really is. Like, I can't die without having accomplished my purpose. That's impossible. So even if something should happen and, now you're like a vegetable and you thought that, you were going to be a great basketball star and you can't now even move and you're feeling depressed and sad and woe is me, like you're in that phase, you might think you're not doing anything, but you're still doing your purpose, even though you don't know what the purpose is. And so, and I heard this wonderful example very recently. And basically, they were saying a fruit tree, for example, a fruit tree thinks its purpose is to provide fruit, it's to bear fruit. But a tree doesn't know what its purpose is. Because a tree, yes, bears fruit, but it also is a beautiful sight to behold. It's also something that provides shade. It also provides oxygen in the world. It also might end up, um, serving as wood for fire, or it could be turned into paper or a house, or so
Right.
many things that this one tree that thought I was here to bear fruit, it has so many other things. And the same thing with that person was giving the same example with bumblebees. Like, a bumblebee might think its purpose is to make honey, but a bumblebee also pollinates the earth, and the bumblebee also helps make our ecology strong, and so things like that. And so it's kind of like the same thing. Like, we are going to serve our purpose regardless. Like, us being here is very purposeful and we're on purpose. So no matter if we don't know what the purpose is, it's still going
Right.
to happen. And so instead of us like being so stressed about, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what lights me up, I don't know, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Yeah, you are doing what you're supposed to be
Right.
doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
That's
so,
I think really what you were just saying. And when you sit back and you have a goal that you're reaching, some people don't even realize they're inspiring the next person,
right,
and
exactly.
they don't even realize it, because they
Exactly.
probably thinking like what you just said. I don't even know if I'm doing this the right way, or if I'm going about my life in the right direction. Well, you never know, because it may be somebody that's watching your moves and like, not even like, but admire what you do, admire what you stand for.
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly.
you just out here going with the flow of things. So I would tell people, don't stress that, just go with the flow. And when you're going with the flow, things start to fall in place for you, slowly but
Mhm.
surely.
Mhm. And I agree with what you said about something, finding something that drives you, that burns you up, that sets you on fire. Because really, like I say, I think that we can't live our life and not carry out our purpose. That's automatic. That's going to happen automatically.
Right,
But what we can do is have fun on the way to that. So while we're here, yeah, shoot, do everything that lights you up. Go out, have fun, have as much fun as you can. Find the stuff that sets your heart on fire, and
right,
whatever your dream is, put your attention on that and put your energy on making it the best dream ever, having the most fun ever in crafting this dream.
right, right. Because you got to think about it. It's like, even when we're dead and gone, right? Even if a relationship expires, or our physical form expires, we are still leaving a mark on the world, our friends, people that we associate with. So we're leaving a mark. So what is that mark going to be? So that's that in whole, that's somewhat your purpose. Like I said, you never know who's watching you. You never know what what role you played in somebody's life, how you inspired somebody. And all you was doing was just being yourself.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all you was doing, just basically being yourself, you know.
Exactly.
So I would tell anybody, hey, just even when you're going after that thing that lights you up, like I said before, when you go after it, hey, you'll get a sense of is this for me? Yes or no. And it may be, it may not be. If it's not, bam, guess what? You try something else. And then when you try something else, it may work for you, it may not. But if it does, you'll know. You'll automatically know in the back of your like, this fits me. This I like this. So yeah, I would tell anybody just basically just be yourself and just live, be in the moment, live your life, enjoy it, because life is never promised, to us today or tomorrow. So while you're here, live in the now.
Yes. Yes. And then something you just say triggered a memory for me. But a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we will we can get sidetracked as to what it is in our heart to do
Mm-hmm.
because of what we think we're supposed to be doing.
Mm. Right,
And sometimes what you think you're supposed to be doing, it might seem like that's the right thing. And if you stop doing that, it may seem selfish. But if you're no longer in a space where that thing is something you love or that thing is filling you up, then you owe it to yourself to pull out,
right,
even though it seems like what you're doing is the right thing. And the perfect example I have, because my husband and I, we did group homes for so long. We did group homes for 10 years,
right,
working with adolescent males. And it was a very rewarding experience, not just working with the kids, but working with the adults, with the team, other team members. Um,
right,
it was a wonderful experience, but it came a time where we both were just burnt out, and so we're like, we don't want to do this anymore. And the outcry from the community was like, no, you must do this. This is your obligation. This is your responsibility to the community. Like, you have to keep going. And you would be so surprised at the number of people who told us that it's just selfish for you to stop doing this. And on our end, we're like, it's no longer something that we love. It's now becoming a grudge, something you're begrudging. But you feel like, am I supposed to be doing
right.
this for the rest of my life? Am I supposed to be unhappy? And so with that, what I'm saying is, you have to follow your heart because it's directing you in the direction that you're to go. So if your heart is saying move on, it's time to move on.
It's time to go. Yeah,
Yeah, and
exactly.
it's something else on the other side that's waiting for you, that's even more glorious than what you were doing.
Right, right. I can say the same thing. With my experience in life, I realized when it came to that time
Oh,
myself, I took a whole year off from family, from friends, and a lot of people said the exact same thing when I came back. You know, um, First thing I heard was, don't you ever do that no more. You scared us to death. We were worried about you. You're not supposed to do this. And you're supposed to keep in contact with me. And, I can understand where they were coming from. But for me, I know that I needed to take that time out for myself because I was trying to get to a level in my life or a space in my life that I always wanted to be in, you know. And so the only way for me to do that was I had to leave. I had to just for temporary temporary person temporary temporary reasons just to get my mind right. And when I did, I felt good because I wasn't in the space of doing nothing for nobody. I wasn't worried about what other people thought about it, because this is something that I know that I wanted to do for myself. And was it selfish? To others, it may seem selfish, it may seem selfish to others, but they're not in my shoes. They're not in my space. They don't understand, the reason behind what it was that I was trying to do. you know. But when I came back, then it was like I was a new person. It was like, oh, ah. It was like, okay, okay. So I would tell anybody, don't allow what others think, um, don't allow somebody to put an expectation on you, what you should do. Because a lot of people have expectations. They want you to sit back and be a certain person or be a certain way. And 9 times out of 10, it just not, hey, it might not be for you. You know, that's not your role. So I would tell anybody, follow yourself.
Yes, I love that. I love talking about your purpose and kind of getting clear on that because like we say, you're carrying out your purpose just by being. So it's nothing to stress about. Like, however, it is important that we find things that light us up and set us on fire and follow the callings of those things and not get caught up into what people think you should do, even not even what you think you should do. If you're feeling obligated or responsibility, that's not the exact energy that we're going for, because if it sets your heart on fire, that's the energy. That's where you should be putting your energy, I would say, because that is the direction where you're going to really light other people up as well and serve even a higher calling than doing the what you should be doing or the quote unquote right thing.
Right, right.
All
So
right.
right, and I just think people just need to really get out of that comfort zone of trying to people please
Mhm.
and just go ahead and just follow your heart. You know what? I mean, do what you feel makes you happy
Mhm.
because everybody is aiming to please the world, but yet they're not even pleasing themselves. They're not even focused on them,
Mhm.
and it comes a time in everybody's life as to where they really have to sit back and take that time out and focus on them. Is that selfish? Some people may consider it selfish, but sometimes you have to get into a space as to where you have to be selfish in order to put yourself first. Because when you're good, when your mental is good, then you're able to provide. When your cup is full, you're able to give to anyone,
Right.
but you can't give if your cup is not full.
Exactly. Exactly. So I love your little how you started off. You said aspire to inspire until you expire.
Right. That's the goal in life.
Cute.
That's
I love it.
that's
Well,
the
thank
goal.
you so much for joining us today, or for, I shouldn't even say for joining us. Just thank you for the conversation. I love talking to you as often as possible. So I look forward to talking to you again, Stephen.
Yes, it was fun. I appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All
And
right, bye.
everybody else, we'll see you next week. Bye.